Hello students, in this video lecture, I will discuss with you how to prepare profit loss account of a banking company as per Form B, which is prescribed under section 29. There is schedule 3 and it is in vertical format. Now you can see here there are four important segments, or I could say that parts of profit loss account. Part 1 is related to income, second part is related to expenditure, third part is related to profit, and fourth part is related to appropriation. Now in first part there are two schedules, 13 and 14. 13 is of income earned and 14 is other income. So these two schedules are of income category. Now in the schedule number 13 we have to show the bank's incomes on account of interest received. If bank has received interest on its investment, on the deposit which it has made with other bank or with RBI, and the interest which it has received for on the loans given by it. आई मीन टू से यहाँ पे हमें इंटरेस्ट रेटेड इनकम ही दिखाने है खाली शेड्यूल नंबर 13 में. जिस किस भी चीज से अगर बैंक को इंटरेस्ट मिला है तो ऑल दैट एंटायर इंटरेस्ट अमाउंट वी आर सपोज टू मेंशन अंडर शेड्यूल नंबर 13, दैट इज इनकम अर्न. जो शेड्यूल नंबर 14 है अदर इनकम, वहाँ पे हमें ऐसा इनकम दिखाना है जो कि बैंक को हुआ है बट नॉट बिकॉज ऑफ इंटरेस्ट, नॉट अकाउंट ऑफ इंटरेस्ट. मीन्स इंटरेस्ट के अलावा जो भी इनकम बैंक को मिलता है, we are supposed to mention that income under schedule number 14, that is other income. Now in case of second part expenditure, there are two more schedules, 15 and 16. 15 is interest expended and 16 is operating expenses. Now in schedule number 15, interest expended, we have to show the expenses related to interest, means whatever interest bank has paid on its deposits, on its borrowings, we have to show that interest अंडर शेड्यूल नंबर 15. मतलब जो भी इंटरेस्ट रिलेटेड बैंक के एक्सपेंसेस है वो हमें शेड्यूल नंबर 15 के अंदर दिखाने हैं, और जो बाकी के सारे बचे हुए एक्सपेंसेस है बैंक्स के, वी आर सपोज टू शो दोज एक्सपेंसेस in under schedule number 16, that is operating expenses. Now provisions in contingency, which is an important part of expenditure, which is a second part of profit loss account, means second important aspect of profit loss account. वहाँ पे हमें provisions दिखानी है of bad debts and taxation and others. जो third part है profit, वहाँ पे हमें profit को calculate करना है, and we will be calculating that profit by simply deducting the total of expenditure from the total of income. After that हमें appropriations करने हैं profits के. Now let's begin with the solution. Now, but before starting posting of these particulars, let's read first in detail the adjustment. Adjustment number 1 is write off 19,000 for bad and doubtful debts. हमें मालूम है बैड एंड डाउटफुल डेट्स के दो इफेक्ट्स होंगे. एक इफेक्ट होगा कि जहाँ पे हम इसे दिखाएंगे यहाँ पे in provisions and contingencies, and its second effect is we have to deduct it from the advances, schedule number 9 advances, but here we are not preparing balance sheet, so ignore the second effect. Second is provide 40% for taxation, so here we have to provide 40% on taxation, and its one effect will come under provisions and contingencies, and second effect under schedule number 5, that is other liabilities and provisions, and which is of balance sheet, but here we are not preparing balance sheet, so ignore the second effect. Third is rebate on bill discounted. As you know, rebate on bill discounted means discount received in advance or discount of next year received in advance, or discount received but not earned. And as this 20,000 sum is not the income of the current year, so we have to deduct that figure from schedule number 13, that is interest earned, and its second effect we are supposed to give in schedule number 5, that is other liabilities and provision, but as here we are not preparing the balance sheet, so ignore the second effect. Now let's begin with the posting of these particulars in schedules first. Now let me tell you one more important thing. Here we have to give the details of all these particulars, and here we will provide the summary of schedules only. So details will come in schedules and summary will come in form B, that is format of profit loss account. The first is interest on loan. Now interest on loan is what? That bank has received interest on its loans from its clients. So whatever loans given by the bank, on that sum it has received an interest of rupees 3,10,000, as it is an income of the bank, and as we know schedule number 13 is specifically for interest. We have to show that particular in schedule number 13. So interest on loan here, and the figure is 3 lakh 10,000. Okay. Next is now Next is now interest on cash credit. Now bank has received interest on cash credit. Cash credit is also kind of advance and means a kind of loan, and on which bank has received 2,90,000. So it is also bank's income. So 2,90,000. So it will also come under schedule number 13, and the figure is 2,90,000. 2,90,000. Now next is interest on overdraft. Now overdraft is also a kind of advance, and on which it has received an income of rupees 2 lakh, so it will also go under schedule number 13, and the figure is 2 lakh. So here 2 lakh. Now the next is interest on balances with RBI. Now interest on balances with RBI, so whatever cash this bank has with RBI, on that balance it has received interest of rupees 40,000. So it is an income of the uh, bank, that is 40,000. So it is an income of the bank, so it will also come under schedule number 30. What is the interest on balances with RBI? 40,000. Now next is income on investment. Now income on investment also comes under schedule number 13, that is income earned. So here the figure is 10,000. The figure is 10,000. So here 10,000 rupees under schedule number 13. Now next is interest on fixed deposits. Now interest on fixed deposits. Now what is it? Is it an income or expenses? See, with bank, fixed deposits are kept, means amount is kept in the form of fixed deposit by the account holders, and on such a fixed deposit bank pays interest. So it is an expense of the bank, and interest related expenses we are supposed to mention under schedule number 15, that is interest expended. Interest expended, so it will go under interest expended, and the figure is 2,60,000. So schedule number 50, interest expended, and 2,60,000. 2,60,000. Okay. Now the next is in the problem interest on saving account. Now the same case. See, bank offers saving accounts to its clients, and the saving account holders receives a certain amount of interest from the bank. So it is an interest paid by the bank to its saving account holder. As it is paid by the bank, it is bank's expenses, and interest related expenses we have to mention under schedule number 15, that is interest expended. So it will also go there. Interest on saving account figure is 80,000 under schedule number 15, figure is 80,000. So here 80,000 rupees. Now the next is interest on current account. Now interest on current account, see, bank also offers current account, so on that account it has paid interest, so it is also bank's expense, and for recording interest related expenses we have schedule number 50, that is interest expended, so it will also go there. Figure is 30,000. Schedule number 50, the figure is 30,000. Okay. Now the next is here discount on bill discounted. Now discount on bill discounted is an income of the bank. See, when a bank discounts a bill, discount is treated as an income of the bank, and the figure is 1,90,000. The figure is 1,90,000. So it will go under schedule number 13, income earned. Income earned, because bill purchase and discounted is treated as an advance of the bank, and that's why it will go under income earned, schedule number 13, and the figure is 1,90,000. Figure is 1,90,000, schedule number 13. Here figure is 1,90,000. Now there is an adjustment in the problem, adjustment number 3, rebate on bill discounted. See, the total discount received by the bank in the financial year 14-15 is 1,90,000, but out of that 1,90,000, rebate on bill discounted is rupees 20,000. It means it is an interest of the next financial year, but which is received in advance. But I mean to say which is received in current year, but it is of next financial year, so it cannot be treated as an income of the current financial year, as it is included in this figure of 190,000. We have to deduct that figure of 190,000 from this figure. I mean to say, sorry, the figure of 20,000 from the figure of 190,000. So here less rebate on bill discounted. Rebate on bill discounted. What is rebate on bill discounted? That discount received in advance, and it is discount of next financial year, and next financial year discount cannot be treated as an income of the current financial year. So in bracket I am writing here minus 20,000. So if we have to deduct this total from from the total of these figures, from actually technically we have to deduct this 20,000 from 190, but as in the end, if we are going to deduct from this total also, automatically it will be deducted, it will be considered as a deducted from 190,000 only. Okay, its second effect appears in schedule number 5, other liabilities and provision. As we have not prepared here balance sheet, so ignore the second effect. So we are done with this adjustment. uh, so sorry, we are done with this adjustment, not with this adjustment. Okay, now the next in the problem is okay, interest on borrowings from other banks. See, bank has borrowed from other banks, and on that sum it has paid an interest of rupees 10,000. So it is bank's interest paid, so it is bank's expenses, interest related expenses, and the figure is 10,000. And interest related expenses we should record under schedule number 50 here, and the figure is 10,000 rupees. Figure is 10,000 rupees. Okay, now next in the problem is profit on sale of investment. So bank has a profit on the sale of investment. Now it is an income which has earned by the bank from other head, not from the head of interest. So we should show that income under schedule number 14, other income. So the figure is 40,000. So schedule number 14 here, profit on sale of investment, and the income is 40,000. So we have to mention that figure here only. Okay, now the next is in the problem is loss on sale of investment. Now it is the loss, and we have to adjust that loss. From the schedule number 14 only. From the schedule number 14 only. And what is the figure? The figure is 5,000. And the loss, always show the loss figures in bracket. Always show the loss figures in the bracket with a sign of minus 5,000, and it is a loss, and we have to deduct that loss. Okay, now the next in the problem is income from joint venture. Now see, it is an income from joint ventures, so it will go under schedule number 14, other income, as it is not the income earned by the bank on account of interest. So it is an income other than interest, so it will go under schedule number 14, other income. So income from joint ventures, and the figure is 25,000. So here we have to show rupees 25,000. Okay, now the next in the problem is profit on revaluation of investment. See, because of the enhanced value of investment, because there is an increase in the value of investment, uh, the bank has earned profit of rupees 35,000. And as you know, as it is not interest related, so it will go under schedule number 14, other income. So schedule number 14, other income, and the figure is 35,000. The figure is 35,000. Now the next in the problem is loss on revaluation of investment, 10,000. So it will be adjusted from the same schedule, that is 14. Loss on revaluation of investment, 10,000, and as I have told you, we have to deduct the loss figures. And title is loss on revaluation of investment. Okay, loss on revaluation of investment, and loss on revaluation of investments, and the figure is 10,000. So here take 10,000 rupees. but show this figure in the bracket. Show this figure in the bracket 10,000. Close the bracket. Okay. Okay, next in the problem is dividend received from joint stock companies. Now see here, this dividend received from joint stock companies is an income of the bank, and it will also go under schedule number 14 other income, and the figure is 25,000. So dividend received from joint stock companies 25,000, it will go under here only, 25,000 rupees. Okay, now the next is salaries to staff. Now see, salaries are paid to staff. So what is it? Definitely it is an expense of the bank. And for recording the expenses, we have two schedules, 15 and 16. But in 15, we record the interest related expenditure, and for other expenditure we have schedule number 16. So definitely it will go directly in schedule number 16 only, that is operating expenses, salaries to staff, and the figure is 65,000. Salaries to staff, and the figure is 65,000 rupees. So here 65,000 rupees. Okay, now next here is rent and taxes. So it is also an expenditure of the bank. It will also go under schedule number 16. Amount is 8,000. Schedule number 16, amount is 8,000. I told you what, that we have to mention interest related expenses in schedule number 15, and other expenses will be mentioned in schedule number 16. Interest related in schedule number 15, that is interest expended, and for other expenditure, the schedule is operating expenses. Now depreciation on bank's asset, it is also an what, expense, and it will go under schedule number 16. The figure is 21,000, so it will go here only. The figure is 21,000. Okay, the next is in the problem, we have now sundry income. Now it is an income of the bank, and for recording income of the bank we have two schedules, that is 13 and 14. As it is sundry income, it will go under schedule number 14. So sundry income, the figure is 18,000. The figure is 18,000. So other income here, sundry 18,000 rupees. Okay, next in the problem is we have now printing and stationery. Now printing and stationery is also an expenses, so it will also go there only, and the figure is 17,000. The figure is 17,000. Okay, the next in the problem is we have repairs and maintenance of rupees 14,000. It is also an expense of the bank. It will also go there only in schedule number 16. Operating expenses, repairs and maintenance 14,000. Repairs and maintenance 14,000 rupees. Repairs and maintenance 14,000 rupees. Now next in the problem is advertisement. Now it is also an expense of the bank, so advertisement 6,000 rupees in schedule number 16 only. 6,000 rupees. Now next in the problem is next particular director fees and allowances, and the figure is 9,000. It is also an expense, and we will show that expense in schedule number 16, operating expenses, and the figure is 9,000. Okay, right. Now audit fees, it is also an expense of the bank. It will go at the same place, and the figure is 6,000 rupees. The figure is 6,000 rupees. Okay, now the next in the problem is law charges. We have law charges, and it is also an expense of the bank. In fact, let me tell you, law charges, postage and telegram charges, other expenses, all these three are the expenses of the bank. So simply mention them or record them under schedule number 16 instead of carrying forward one by one. And the figures are from law charges 8,000 to 14,000, sorry, 4,000. Okay, Okay. Okay, after that, okay. Now, after that, the next is in the problem. Now, profit on 1st April 2014, that is 1,20,000. Now, carry forward that this is the profit of last year, and we have to mention that profit in the third segment of form B, that is our profit loss account here only, and the figure is 1,20,000. The figure is 1,20,000. Okay. Now the next in the problem, I think now adjustments are left only. Write off 19,000 for bad and doubtful debts and provide 40% for taxation. Now we know that in I am preparing here one working note. Working note number one. Working note number one. It is provisions and contingencies. Provisions and contingencies. Now under provisions and contingencies, we have to show the the provision made for bad and doubtful debt. Provisions made what is the title? I will just copy and paste it. Provision for bad and doubtful debts. Okay, write up. We have to write up. Hmm? Write up bad and doubtful debts. Okay, write off bad and doubtful debts. And second is we have to make here provision. We have to provide for taxation. We have to provide for provision for taxation. Provision for taxation. Okay, and the provision for taxation amount is 40%. Okay, we have to provide for 40% of profit on account of taxation. Now the amount for bad and doubtful debt in the problem is 19,000. So here I'll write 19,000 rupees first, 19,000. But as of now, we have to make provision of taxation, and the percentage is 40%, and it is of profit. It is of net profit. Now let me here just take that figure first, 19,000, as I know that this figure as of now 19,000, but I have not yet added the figure of provision for taxation in this 19,000, and here we have to make provision for taxation at the rate of 40% of profit. But for that we need to find out first profit. So let's calculate the profit first. Now here the total of the entire particulars under schedule number 13 interest earned is rupees 10 lakh 40,000. The total is rupees 10 lakh 40,000 of interest earned, but from that figure 10 lakh 40,000 we have to deduct this figure. So I will do one thing. I'll here simply okay, here is equal to this figure plus 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 this figure minus 20,000 rupees. So the answer is 10 lakh 20,000. So this is the total of schedule number 13. So it is the total of schedule number 13, and I'll copy and paste that figure in form B next to schedule number 13 under current year column. 10 lakh 20,000. 10 lakh 20,000 rupees. Okay, 10 lakh 20,000 rupees is the total of income earned. Okay, next in the problem is let's make total of schedule number 14 now. That is other income. Same case here also is equal to. Now from let's make addition first. So these are the figure we are supposed to add. Then from the addition of this figure we have to deduct the loss figures. First loss figure is 5,000 rupees. Second loss figure is 10,000 rupees. Now the total is 1,28,000. The total is 1,28,000. So simply carry forward this total in the schedule number 14, next schedule number 14, under the column of current year. Okay, 1,28,000. Now the total of income. Now the total of the income is 11,48,000. 11,48,000 is the total of the income. Now let's calculate, let's make the addition of expenditures. Now first schedule number 15. The schedule number 15 and the total of this schedule is 3,80,000. 3,80,000. Okay, and I'll copy that figure and I'll paste that figure here only. I'll mention that figure here. 3,80,000 rupees. Okay, 3,80,000 rupees. Now the next is let's make an addition of operating expenses. Operating expenses now. So operating expenses, the total of operating expenses is okay, the total of operating expenses is now rupees 1,69,000. So this 1,69,000 I'll carry forward. I'll mention this figure, that figure here in the form B. Next to schedule number 16, 1,69,000. 1,69,000. Now we have these figures. Now here let's calculate the profit. Let's calculate the profit. I'm going to make here a total of these figures. The total of this figure is 5,68,000. So total of expenditure without including, I am telling you one more time, this is the total. 5,68,000 is an total of the expenditure without including or without adding the provision made for taxation. As of now we have not made provision for taxation, and for the provision for taxation I am preparing here one more working note. Working note number 2. Working note number 2, and it is provision for taxation. Provision for taxation, and we have to provide and for that we need to calculate the profit before the provision for taxation. The profit, let's calculate the profit before the provision of taxation, before the provision of taxation. Now, and we know the total income. Now here the income, total income is, the total income here is rupees 11,48,000. So here take that figure, 11,48,000, 11,48,000, and from this figure we have to deduct the expenditure, total expenditures without considering provision for taxation. Without considering provision for taxation. Okay, and what is the total? The total here is in the problem 5,68,000. 5,68,000. Now 5,68,000. 5,68,000. Sorry, 5,68,000. Let me check one more time. It is 5,68,000. Now calculate the profit. So profit before taxation. Profit before taxation Now let's calculate the profit before taxation. Now for that, simply we have to deduct the total expenditures from the total income, and the profit before taxation is now 5,80,000. Now of this figure 5,80,000, we have to provide 40% for taxation. Now what is the 40% of taxation? Therefore provision for taxation is equal to provision for taxation is equal to here is equal to here 40%. So is equal to 40% of the profit before taxation, and the amount is 2,32,000. So this is the figure for the provision of taxation. So that much figure we will provide as a 40% of taxation on the profit before taxation. So 2,32,000. So take that figure 2,32,000 here only. 2,32,000 here. Now we will be having here total. Now make a total of these two figure. It is rupees 2,51,000. So simply carry forward this amount now 2,51,000 here in the format. 2,51,000 here in the format. 2,51,000. Now the total of expenditure is now 8 lakh rupees. It is the total of all the expenditure is 8 lakh rupees. Let's calculate the current year profit. For the current year profit, we simply need to deduct the total expenditure from the total of income. So total income of the current year is 3,48,000. 3,48,000 is the income of the current year. Now calculate the total income of the bank up to the financial year 31st March 2015. I mean to say 14-15, and for that you need to add these two figures. So this figure plus this figure, 4,68,000. So 4,68,000 is the bank total lifetime income. It is the total lifetime income, and the current year income is 3,48,000. Previous year income is 120,000, and the total income is now 4,68,000. Now we have to make appropriation of current year profit, but before that, do one thing: copy this figure and mention that figure here again. 4,68,000 rupees. 4,68,000. Now we have to transfer on account of statutory reserve a sum of 25% of current year net profit. So current year net profit is 3,48,000. So and it's 25. We have to calculate its 25% and transfer that 25% to statutory reserve. So here I am calculating the 25 percentage of current year profit, that is 3,48,000. The figure is 87,000. So we have to transfer 87,000 to statutory reserve, and it will be shown under schedule number 2, that is reserve and surplus in balance sheet. And there is nothing to provide on account of other reserve, and there is nothing to transfer on account of government or proposed dividend. So remaining will be the balance which will be carried forward to balance sheet. And for calculating that balance from this total, that is 4,68,000, you have to deduct the amount which is transferred to statutory reserve. So remaining is the balance, and that 3,81,000 will be carried forward to balance sheet, and it will appear in schedule number 2, that is reserve and surplus. So this problem is over. I hope you have understood how to calculate how to prepare the profit loss account of a banking company, and I hope you also understood the effects of these adjustments. Now I'll discuss the how I have provided 40% for taxation. See, for that I have calculated first profit before providing taxation. See here, the profit before providing taxation I have calculated first, that is 5,80,000. After calculating that profit before taxation, I have provided for I have calculated 40% of it on account of provision for taxation. So 40% of this figure is 2,32,000, and we have to mention that figure in provisions and contingencies. So I have mentioned that figure here in provisions for contingency. Now the total provisions and contingencies are now 2,51,000. Finally this figure will appear here, 2,51,000. Now here, you whatever profit you are seeing here, that is 3,48,000. It is the profit of this bank after providing for taxation. So 3,41,000 is the bank's current year profit after providing for taxation, and this profit of 5,80,000 is the profit before providing for taxation. But here in this problem, we are supposed to provide for taxation at the rate of 40%. So it is so we have included that part here in provisions and contingencies. Now this problem is over. Thank you. I hope you have understood this problem.